Coronavirus. Unprecedented times, guys, unprecedented times. And is this the thing that's going to screw up our season? Now, apparently we're going to have to stop calling it coronavirus and start saying COVID-19 because Boris says so. Lots of gossip and rumour about what's going on in a minute. You should see it. I was in Tesco the other night. Bit like Christmas Eve. Packed out, packed to the gills. But no food or anything on the shelves as people inevitably cause the shortages that they fear. The government's announced that we're moving out of the contain phase and into delay. Now that might not mean a lot to people, but inevitably there's a whole load of rumour and speculation going on, particularly on social media, and we listen to that at our cost. The UK chief medical officers have raised the risk in the UK from moderate to high. It's important that we don't panic, don't build up the urban myths that are propagating right now on social media. We need to get some of the facts right around this. And there's a couple of links I've provided in the blurb below, the BBC and Department of Health websites, and that's where you need to be going around for this. I'd urge you to look at those and deal in the facts. This isn't a public information video, but the most important thing you can do apparently right now is to wash your hands more frequently than normal for 25 seconds. Do it more often, do it thoroughly. That's the safest thing to keep you safe. Anyway, what this video is actually about is football's response to things and where it leaves Leeds. The government is desperate to avoid panic and says sporting events in Britain are unlikely to be affected. However, football authorities got a hold of that. As soon as people started self-isolating, all the rumours started to spread around. So actually they had to do something. What they've done is stop all football until the 4th of April. Now that's being very, very optimistic at the minute. And the popular view is that it's going to be the summer before things actually peter out or we're starting on top of this. The chances of things getting finished off properly are quite low at the minute, I have to say, which is really depressing. It'd be the preference for everybody, I think, for that to go right to the end and we do play out the games. But I'm not sure whether that's going to be possible. Now, there's been two extreme worldviews put forward. It depends where you are and what your club is as to which you go with. One school of thought, declare the season null and void, scrap everything that's happened, and the other is freeze it all now and declare this as being the final outcome. Bit of a caveat around that potentially what they'd do is not have any teams relegated, but a couple still come up, maybe a couple not come up at all, and that will be really depressing for us. Now, you know where people like Baroness Brady are? Because of West Ham's position, I would say. Freezing's the wrong thing for her. That's probably what we should say. What she prefers, the null and void option. Scrap it all, in which case West Ham would be safe. Really, Karen, is that what you think? If you're a Liverpool fan, you know what your money's going to be on. If you've got to choose between these, you'd freeze it now and get your first title in years, decades. Now Leeds would also go for that. Of course they would. Of course we would. However, it doesn't feel right. It feels like it'd be a hollow victory. It'd always be, as someone said on Sky this morning, you'd have this little asterisk about what's happened there. We'd always be seen as being the champions that never were. That's not unusual for Leeds, is it? We can cope with that, but it would feel like a hollow victory. I'm really looking forward to the twists and turns that are inevitably likely to come between now and the end of the season. And yesterday, the Saturday, what a day. Leeds weren't even playing as it shouldn't have been playing anyway, but it felt like empty days. What do we do? It feels like the summer. Not sure what we're going to do here. There's a real issue if we go with either of those two worldviews, either of the extremes, because inevitably whoever's disadvantaged in it, and there's so much money depends on football these days that there's bound to be legal cases. Whoever you are, you can have legal cases coming out of your ears, and that's why the authorities much prefer the solution of playing out to a finish if we can. Now that doesn't look likely at the minute, I have to say, and I'm not sure where that leaves us. So absolute uncertainty rules, absolute uncertainty. But as the guy on the radio said the other day, the Leeds fan, well, at least we'll be top of the table for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. You've got to find humour somewhere. Anyway, look forward to what happens next. Okay, so what I'm also going to do this week is just have a look at Leeds' season so far and how they've got where they are. And it's just interesting. When I was going back through this, season breaks down into really interesting blocks. And Leeds have had real dips and peaks in form. And it's astonishing what's happened here. The first 7 games, won 5 of them, drew 1 and lost at home to Swansea. A real dire afternoon. That stage, 7 games, 4 clean sheets, level on points with Swansea, although we got a better goal difference, so we're on top. Looking good, looking good. But we've seen that before, and whether we could keep it up, that was the debate. Anyway, you look at the next 7 games, got a slightly different picture there. What happened for us? So we got 2 victories, 3 draws and 2 defeats. Still another 3 clean sheets, so we got 7 clean sheets out of the first 14 games. We weren't right at the top, we dropped to 3rd by then. Both West Brom and Preston were ahead of us, but there was only a couple of points in it after 14 games. Nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. But we knew, actually, this isn't going to be the shooting that a lot of people predicted it was going to be. We knew it was going to be quite difficult. But then we got this run of 7 straight victories. 7 straight victories, fantastic performances, when we really came into our own. So after a goalless draw at Sheffield Wednesday at the end of October, we went 7 games undefeated. In fact, we won the lot. We were right through 10th of December when we beat Hull at Ellen Road. And that put us really in a very, very strong position indeed after 21 games. We were top, point clear of West Brom, although they got a game in hand on us. Top, very strong position. At that stage, 11 points ahead of the team in 3rd. Still Fulham as it is now. 11 points ahead. And that's when things went bad. At that stage, we'd got fantastic 12 clean sheets from 21 games. This was the finest football played in years, the finest results. Bit of doubt about Casillas still. We hadn't forgot all of it, and actually it was a bit odd. It was more about the defence than him, although he was getting the big build-up around it. So kept all these clean sheets. Looked to breeze. We were going to breeze this league. And that's where it all went tits up. We knew Liverpool got 10 points on the team beneath them. We thought they'd do it. Leeds got 11 points. Not sure about that. It's not that much for us, and it proved that way. So if you go through the next 11 games, 2 victories, 4 draws, 5 defeats, not a clean sheet among them. And we tumbled down the league. Not literally, because we were still 2nd, but we got hauled right back in. So Fulham, Brentford and Forest, right on the tails. Bang on the tails. They were about to get us. The defeat against Forest, real shaker. We lost out big style there. We felt very, very bad after that day. Lots of recriminations. Casilla was getting the boot, big style. So in there, the defensive record went to pot. The run began with a marvellous 3-0 lead against Cardiff. We collapsed in the second half to a dismal 3-3 draw that felt we'd been hammered. Casilla's partly to blame for that. We then lost at Fulham. Another depressing day. Of course we shouldn't have. We knew that. We shouldn't have lost. So the penalty was not right. We knew that. The old thing about officialdom. In the middle of this, we had this madcap 5-4 victory at Birmingham. And there's so many goals at the death. Just lost count. I was sat out. I wasn't watching there that day, although I live in Birmingham. Sat outside in the car outside the house. It's got these things going through. I thought it was bad enough when it was tied up at 3-0. God, here we go again. We've got to lost the points again. And then 4-3 up, yes. Then 4-0, shit. And then we got the 5-4. Incredible scenes. Perhaps God is smiling on us after all. This was fantastic, but then slumped badly. We managed to pick up a draw at West Brom. And people are looking at the two of them, you know, still quids in, they're still going to do this. But then we had a real problem time. We had a real problem time of 4 defeats in 5 games. Probably shouldn't have lost them all. That included the Wigan debacle. Definitely shouldn't have lost that, but you know, there was always the chance that was going to happen. The Forest game was the real nadir. We felt bad at that time. Everybody did. Everyone was questioning whether we'd gone. And what strangely seemed to make a difference was the midweek game at Brentford. The one that we were fearing. Brentford banging for early doors. Nightmare for Kisilla. Let the ball under his foot. Felt grasping as the guy put the ball in. But then, from somewhere, we found ourselves and came back. Cooper scored. We probably should have won that game. But a draw stopped the rob. Left us a point clear still, as the other teams started to fall apart. And you've heard about what's happened since. 5 straight victories, all without a goal going in at the other end. And it's left us right back again. We've got this big advantage, a real buffer. 7 points on third, 7 points on third place Fulham with the games to come. And you know what I've thought about other teams knocking themselves out? Now, one thing I do need to just recall in the middle of this bad spell that we had that wonderful display at Arsenal when we demonstrated that we're made for the Premier League, the football we play, the confidence we have, even if we can't score, even if we should have been the goal ahead, before they got near us. But that really is psychologically what set us back, killed us in that period. We started believing the publicity, and that's when the rot set in. And we had this appalling run when we lost all these games. That's what did for us. We started to believe, to take it as being a given. So you've got these blocks, 7-game blocks. And we had a 7-game winning streak last year. We've done it before, we've done it again. Now, this stage, we've got it at 5 with all these clean sheets. We've got the big break in the season now, if the season kicks off. If we made this a 7-game winning streak, I can't see that they could do anything. Anybody could touch us. Certainly that will put Fulham out because we'd have had another victory. Keep going, guys, if we ever can. Come on, Leeds, finish off Corona. Let's get on.